Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to be discussing and talking about some ongoing DeFi developments that are going to significantly increase the demand over the coming months and years for the price of the digital asset XRP. Things that we've been discussing and talking about in the DeFi ecosystem on the XRPL for quite some time are finally materializing and coming into fruition, as we have here announced by Strobe Finance. So shout out to Strobe Finance for this achievement. Strobe Finance mainnet is now live. They are thrilled to bring natively accessible DeFi to the XRP ledger. Over the past consecutive couple of months, we have been covering DeFi developments on the XRPL, both from Flare, from other protocols, and also Strobe Finance. And so it's really great to see this finally materialize and come into fruition. So we're going to jump into this today. I'm going to show you guys some free resources that you all can tap into, so that way you can take it upon yourselves and go learn about this, educate yourselves in the now, so that way when you're comfortable with the regulatory environment, when you're comfortable with the risk parameters, you can go out and possibly start to generate yield on your idle XRP. Again, not financial advice, but always do your own personal research. So Strobe is bringing a new money market to the XRPL, unlocking yield, borrowing, and composability, all powered by PeerSys, EVM sidechain, XLR cross-chain messaging, and Xamin wallet, where users can put their XRP to work, keep control of their assets, earn and borrow with ease directly from the XRPL. We do the heavy lifting in the background. Welcome to native XRP Fi. So this is just such a massive achievement, considering that we've been covering Strobe Finance on the CYPRX YouTube from ground zero. And so really great to see these developments. But I really want to show you guys that the mindset from institutions is shifting at a very rapid pace, keeping in mind that Strobe Finance and other protocols like Firelight, built out on the Flare network, are built for both retail and institutions alike. And so we are entering into an era where institutions are starting to pick up on these DeFi capabilities and generating yield on their idle digital assets. And if they're not already doing it, they will most likely do it in the future, especially when the regulatory environment aligns with institutional requirements. So here I posted this for you guys to always put my money where my mouth is at and show you guys documented and panel discussion proof from industry leading experts that actually matter in this space. Here is a document where I said, unlocking institutional participation at scale, mentioning significant opportunities. Does this vocab seem like institutions are fearful? No, it doesn't. Lock in. And so this is a 2025 KPMG, a major consulting firm, report titled Futures Report, Seizing Opportunities in an Era of Disruption. This is from June 2025. Shout out to the CYPRX researchers for this one. And if we go into the nitty gritty of this document, it says here, as digital assets continue to grow in importance, they won't replace traditional finance, but will incrementally alter its foundational framework. Really good vocabulary there. The result is a financial system that is more programmable, transparent, and accessible, where new systems coexist with existing ones. This change creates significant opportunities for innovation. And then here in fine detail, it talks about, meanwhile, decentralized finance, i.e. DeFi protocols, are showing renewed growth, reflecting a broader revival in blockchain-based financial tools. This digital transformation was unmistakable, unlocking institutional participation at scale. After years of ambiguity, new clarity in digital asset regulation is enabling enterprises, financial institutions, and governments to act decisively. This regulatory momentum has laid the foundation for deeper engagement across the digital asset spectrum. Then down here at the bottom, it mentions operating on Stellar, Avalanche, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Base, Solana, and Aptos. These firms are developing tools that are scalable, interoperable, and enterprise compatible. And now I will also add in there the XRPL. And then right down here at the bottom, it mentions industry conversations have matured, and the focus is no longer on the novelty of blockchain, but on its practical applications. So that was just really great to see, because that coexists, that document from KPMG coexists with this video breakdown of this panel discussion of institutional organizations and huge institutional grade protocols talking on stage at Innovate Denver, where I went out to post a clip of this particular panel discussion. And I said here, institutional money flips quickly after a couple of first movers. We've officially reached the point where not getting involved in DeFi is becoming the bigger risk for institutions. Now, that quote right there coexist with something that Jazzy Cooper just recently said on stage at Apex 2025.
We're at a turning point. Public chains were once seen as too risky for institutions, and now it's too risky for institutions not to integrate them with their business. Institutions have truly embraced blockchain and are finally launching real products on public chains, including the XRP ledger. And XRPL is evolving to meet that demand. Over the past year, a number of key features have gone live, ranging from the automated market maker to decentralized identity, price oracles, and clawback. And we have others that are still in voting: credentials, MPTs, permission domains. These features are foundational infrastructure for building secure, transparent, and scalable financial products. And we're not just modernizing finance, we're making it more inclusive, accessible, and programmable. And we're finally seeing real traction. XRPL is supporting real-world applications ranging from payments to yield generation, all decentralized and at scale.
Smart money has already started pivoting. Retail should take note of this shift, and it is time now to get ahead by learning how to leverage DeFi strategies that are now being embraced by both institutional giants and everyday investors. For example, Firelight and Strobe Finance. Go out. I encourage you guys, read the documents, tune into their Twitter spaces. And then if you want to take it a step further, you can tap into the CYPRX Wealth 28 Club so you can see us test out these protocols within our own portfolio, risking our own digital assets, so you can learn from our trials and tribulations. Learning does not require that you risk your crypto. This is your time to build confidence through education so that when security, regulation, and insurance frameworks are fully in place, you're not scrambling to catch up, you're ready to earn yield and deploy with clarity and conviction. Take a second and listen to what this gentleman here on stage has to say.
I think very much agree with Rob. I think this year in particular, we're hitting that inflection point in terms of institutional adoption of DeFi, right? Because especially if you kind of take a look from the more global perspective, right? You have firms like Laser Digital, which is a Nomura subsidiary, direct subsidiary, right? With the explicit mandate to actively trade in crypto and market making crypto. And then you have, Middle Eastern sovereigns, right? Putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet and be very public about it. And I think to Rob's point, a lot of the DeFi plumbing that was first kind of pioneered in like DeFi Summer 2021, right? They've gone through like V2, V3, been battle tested and can start taking institutional positions in size. And in addition, I think there's a lot of tailwinds with Bitcoin ETF adoption, right? Where you have now, Larry Fink of BlackRock kind of going on MSNBC and like bull posting and like really championing not just Bitcoin, but crypto as a whole, right? Whereas I think really turning the landscape to, I think oftentimes, right, in kind of institution and enterprise environments, sometimes things flip pretty quickly after a couple first movers from, okay, we don't want to touch DeFi, like it's too risky, to what is our DeFi strategy, right? Why do we now have a DeFi strategy? We saw this with Metaverse, right, last cycle, and I think we're seeing this with DeFi now.
I just want to respond to one thing, to the regulatory point. I think you're completely spot on for what the attitude has been. The president of the United States launched a token entirely permissionless on DeFi rails literally a month ago. And if that isn't a thumbs up and a green flag to come on in, then I don't know what is.
That's for sure, yeah.
Right. So a really great panel discussion where they're talking about institutions engaging with DeFi and how the landscape has matured significantly from what it was back in the day, 2021 to 2022, which for some odd reason is where the vast majority of mindsets seem to be in the retail space. It's almost as if people aren't doing the research and understanding that the DeFi landscape has matured significantly since then. So don't take it from me, take it from other institutional leading experts or people that stem from organizations that work directly with some of the largest organizations in the game. Tell you guys that these institutions are 110% considering coming into the DeFi ecosystem and participating in lending and borrowing. So this is Emmy Lorenz. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She stems from Talos. Why are we listening to individuals from these organizations? Well, if you don't know who Talos is, if we come over here directly to their website, it mentions that they empower institutions to trade and manage digital assets securely. But who are they partnered with? Who are they trusted by? This is important because, again, you want to gather insights from people whose opinions actually matter in the space. And the people whose opinions actually matter in the space are telling you guys that now is the time to get educated in DeFi because the banks are interested. You can see here it says that Talos is trusted by leading global institutions like BCB Group, Anchorage Digital, StoneX, and if that's not enough, you come down here, they are backed by the world's leading digital asset investors like BNY Mellon, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Galaxy, Fidelity, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this lady's opinion actually matters in this space. Why? Because she's probably sitting directly in meetings, closed door meetings, signing NDAs with these organizations that are interested in digital assets and interested in these DeFi protocols or these DeFi primitives where institutions can get off of the sidelines from sitting idle with their digital assets doing nothing to going and actively participating in the DeFi ecosystem with yield generation or liquidity providing or lending and borrowing, utilizing digital assets as collateral. Listen to what she has to say here.
Emmy, maybe you can chat a little bit more about this, because obviously you're serving some of these clients. What kind of DeFi products and services are they actually considering? What's on the table for TradFi in 2025?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we allow them to pull liquidity from Uniswap as well as 1inch. And we consider actually staking, I think, should be considered DeFi as well.
Yeah.
We have an integration with Figment. But what is also interesting for them is trying out various lending pools. Here I think of Aave or Morpho, for instance. I thought that Coinbase's recent integration with Morpho, it's such a great example how CeFi and DeFi is getting a bit closer and how these institutions can work together. For us, yield generation is what we look at besides trading and having adequate liquidity for some of the trading pairs.
Right. So you guys heard it directly from her. Lending, borrowing, providing liquidity, and that these institutions are interested. Interesting to say the least, if we come over here, considering that now Strobe Finance is on mainnet and it is live. Well, if you come over here to their docs, which is something that you guys can participate in going on educating yourself with, the docs are free. You go over to Strobe Finance, you click on the docs, and you just thoroughly read through everything. The money market tab says, Strobe's protocol money market product supports permissionless lending and over-collateralized borrowing. So long story short, Strobe's contracts on the EVM sidechain offer a permissionless DeFi lending and borrowing experience for users. Now, this is so powerful. Why? Because it comes right after we had a panel discussion titled American Leadership in the Digital Finance Revolution from Chairman Paul Atkins from 3 days ago, where he openly confirmed that he believes that Americans should be able to participate in DeFi primitives like lending and borrowing. Take a second here and listen to this verbal confirmation directly from the SEC chair.
So third, a key priority of my chairmanship is to allow market participants to innovate with super apps. I'm often asked, what do you mean by a super app? Plain and simple, securities intermediaries should be able to offer a broad range of products and services under one roof with a single license. A broker-dealer with an alternative trading system should be able to offer trading in non-security crypto assets alongside crypto asset securities, traditional securities, and other services like crypto asset staking and lending without requiring 50-plus state licenses or multiple federal licenses.
So here you have verbal confirmation posted just 3 days ago, 3 days before the launch of Strobe Finance live on mainnet. Verbal confirmation from the SEC chair saying that him and his team firmly believe that market participants should be able to offer both lending and staking services to their clients. This is huge verbal confirmation and just goes to show the shift in the regulatory backdrop that is going to allow institutions to feel comfortable to really onboard into this space with millions and billions of dollars. That is going to drive the total cryptocurrency market cap to new highs, and it is going to significantly increase not only the TVL in the DeFi ecosystem on the XRPL, but the demand for XRP itself. So just so that way you guys leave today's video call with some free resources, coming over here and just looking at the user interface on Strobe Finance, I'm personally extremely satisfied with this user interface. It's really easy to grasp and understand, especially coming from a platform like Aave and the private CYPRX Wealth 28 Club, where we've been participating in lending and borrowing digital assets for a long period of time now. Coming over and seeing that the UI is very simplistic and easy to understand. this was just so great. You can already see that right now there's already over $350,000 worth of XRP supplied to the supply side on Strobe Finance. And right now there's over $50,000 being borrowed against that 382,000. So there is a real interest in people wanting to earn yield, supply, and lend out their XRP in order to generate some additional rewards. I'm going to go outright and say and speculate that I personally think that this number on Strobe Finance is going to substantially increase and surpass $1 million in TVL locked on Strobe Finance before the end of the year. Now, coming over here, if you guys want some other free resources, Strobe Finance just released this user guide tutorial, updated documentation on Gitbook, where they have updated docs on Strobe Finance's protocol and a video playlist on YouTube that you guys can go check out on how to tutorial video breakdowns to lend and borrow against your XRP. So this is just really great to see on Strobe Finance's behalf that they're participating and educating their community members on how to utilize their platform. I again suggest that you guys go out there, you tap into the free resources, and you start educating yourself in the DeFi ecosystem to learn how to get your idle digital assets working for you. I will say this again, now is not the time to remain skeptical, sidelined, and dormant in this ever-evolving DeFi ecosystem. Now's the time to go out and actively engage and participate in community forums and Twitter spaces, reading the documents, watching these panel discussions, and watching these tutorial video breakdowns so that way you are empowered with education. If anybody's interested in locking in with us in the CYPRX Wealth 28 Club, you want to see how we are going to utilize the Strobe Finance platform within our own DeFi portfolios, you guys can always head over to CYPRXtrading.com. We'd love to have you on the team. Tap in with us. And if not, make sure that you guys tap into those free resources out there so that way you can learn how to get your digital assets working for you, whether it's you do so now or whether it's you do so in the future. Understanding that we are entering into an era where we're not going to have to sell a portion of our digital assets for fiat currency is so empowering. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video breakdown, keeping in mind that I'm not telling you guys to go out there and deploy on Strobe Finance, but what I am asking that you guys do is you take an educational and a mature approach and stop thinking that DeFi is dead in the water, that it's not mature, and that it's not going to continuously evolve over the coming months and years. Now it's the time to lock in, focus on your education, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. Hopefully I see you guys with inside the private CYPRX community. And as always, be cognizant, be aware out there, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.